It's buffering, moving. Let's see. All right, redirecting to YouTube and about to get
Oh,
the.
there it is.
There we are.
I just got a notification.
All right, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. Chooch here. Always with me, my partner in crime, Chicago's finest, Mailman Nick. What's going on, Nick? Happy Thanksgiving.
How we doing? Happy Thanksgiving, Chooch, and everybody. Very thankful for everybody on YouTube and but I'm not thankful for management. So
Well, let me just say I'll double down on that one, Nick, and say I am the least bit thankful son of a bitch for management. At least there's good management somewhere out there, but we have a hard time locating them these days. They're in the witness protection program, apparently. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, with some of our former South Philly and Chicago buddies. Yeah. Oh my God. So I said I'm all primed up. I had about 5 slices of pizza last night to get my stomach ready, and Mrs.
The
Chooch,
preheating.
yeah, the pre meal, yeah. So Mrs. Chooch is up there putting the finishing touches on the escarole soup, aka Italian wedding soup. You have the little
Yeah.
meatballs in there. Oh, that's the best. I could have that as a meal, like and have that and be satisfied. But of course, beyond that, we got to go with the antipasta dish before the turkey with the prosciutto and the mozzarella and the stinky cheese and sun dried tomato. Yeah, we got it all. And then some shrimp cocktail, of course. There's always a little cocktail shrimp and some really hot, spicy cocktail sauce, and then the turkey. So you got to do the meal.
I seen the picture. That looked delicious.
Yeah, man, we're ready to go over here. So now dinner and festivities. We head over to the in-laws' house at 3. And I said it would have been a bigger gathering, probably at my aunt's house, but there was a loss in the family. So yeah, we'll probably next year will be a nice big gathering. But what do you got going on?
Well, yesterday Kia had her Friendsgiving, so she cooked mac and cheese, greens, chicken, banana pudding, and I got the first plate. So I was
Damn right, you get the first plate.
yeah.
Or according to you, it was a bunch of ladies all kicking back, having a good time. Making your plate, sticking your place all up, and I said you better walk in there, Nick, and say, "Excuse me, ladies, which one of you will be cleaning up afterwards?"
Well, surprisingly, the place was cleaned up, and because they have fun.
Well, that's the idea. I said the night before Thanksgiving to me, many years ago, I was working in the restaurant business before the post office, and we'd go out. I was a big margarita guy back in the day. Now you'll find me down here in the basement by myself, shooting pool on the night before. That's about as hype as my night got. But yeah, we just had some pizza last night, and she started doing some prep, and then we got enough mashed potatoes to feed an SNDC basically.
Shout out to all the women out there cooking.
I said,
shout out to all the women.
I said, it looked like we're feeding an army platoon over here, but to deal with Italians, they just got to make more food than you'll ever need, leftovers for days.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's good. It still tastes good the next day.
Oh my God! I said the reheat day is the greatest. Turkey reheat the following 2-3 nights, whatever, until you run out. Basically, I'll eat that shit. I'll eat that shit for days. So let me see what's going on over here. We got anybody in? I'm waiting. Where's Mike? Okay, I got some people up in here. I got to scroll down a little bit to see the chat properly. We got Chad Peak. Happy Thanksgiving, Chad. Maurice, Fly Eagles Fly. That's my man, Maurice. Always seeming to side with the birds. I love Maurice.
Bear down.
You got Dale. Happy Thanksgiving, Dale. Maurice is dressing macaroni and cheese, greens, cheesecake, pecan pie. You name it, going to be looking like a stuffed turkey. Great thing he's off tomorrow. You lucky bastard. I wish I had off tomorrow. I said I worked my NS. Yeah, I said I worked my NS yesterday. That's the first NS I've worked in a little while. But with Peak, I said I'll volunteer myself and see if we can get everybody home a little quicker. And Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day, and today will be a good day. And tomorrow we're gonna get slammed.
The day after Thanksgiving is always brutal. I
Oh
already know.
yeah,
Call off, mail volume.
yeah.
Oh,
Do me a favor, folks. Come to work tomorrow if you're on the schedule. Just eat your food and then wake up and come to work. I mean, I get way too much information fed to me about the outside world, about like how many people are planning on. I'm like, you know, I'm like the antithesis of doing that routine, but at the same time, I can only lead the horses to water. I can't make them drink. So we can only inspire so much, I guess. So yeah, no, that when all said and done, yesterday it was some of the thickest red plums I had all year, along with a bigger than normal size letter card for like an appliance store for their Black Friday savings. So that was a hefty amount there. And then usually the day after, like on Black Friday, when we come back, sometimes we get a second red plum, a thinner, a real. You ever see that?
that's what you've been saying. I think I think we've had that in previous years, but I'm praying that there's no papers tomorrow, no third bundle. Uh,
Yeah, that would be nice. See, there was no volume yesterday, so seemingly the fine people at the plant had clocked out well before their end tour and stopped working and just kind of hung out. And
they
so
know
we saw no DPS volume yesterday, no flat volume. It was strictly parcels and the red plums, which made the day last a little longer than it could have. But I imagine that tomorrow, yeah, all the goodies will show up, and then Saturday will be a double hit. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. I didn't. I'm waiting for that text message to say we're coming in at 6. I bet they management does this every year. They know it's going to be busy, and then the morning of or the night before, coming at 6. They know it. They know
yeah.
it. Yeah.
There is a major fucking problem. Excuse me for cursing on a holiday, but I have to say this: the idea of schedules, a schedule to an employee of a workplace, should be that of, if like ours is posted the previous Tuesday or Wednesday, and you see what you've got up until the following Friday, and then the new work week begins Saturday. So the process is to get that schedule up by Wednesday afternoon so you can see what's going on for the following week, and of course, there's a little asterisk, I guess, on everybody's schedule, subject to change, schedule subject to change. And it's like, we have some rules against the idea of being regulars and saying that people are called within a 24-hour period. People are notified within a 24-hour period. People are notified within a 2-hour period, of like, oh, we need you or we don't need you. And I'm like, yo, you don't have to answer to that. If you know you're going to be off and they are start texting you and saying we could use you now or we need you now, you don't have to bother answering that for shit. I said now with CCAs and PTFs, like there's a little bit of governing on that. I know I've never been a CCA, so again, I know that it's more bullshit that you're prone to and more abusiveness because it's like, oh, you're on call. And I'm like, don't put like don't make that stipulation. And again, that comes back to the union allowing that to be part of the CCA work orders. And it's like, let people know in a decent amount of time. Don't go flip flopping. And then yesterday, I talked to one of our other guys, and his day got more or less altered 5 times. After he had clocked in, it went from, oh, you're going to be here till late. Now we're going to push it back to have you here till 6. Oh, no, now there's a little bit more work, so 7. Now you're done at 7. Now we have to get you to do a little bit more. And thank God that particular carrier spoke up for himself and said, I'm out here all day doing my thing, and it's like I don't want to argue with anybody. I don't want to sound like a jerk off, but this is the 5th friggin' time in my day that I've been told that I was going to either work less and then work more. And then it's like, I mean, I know everybody probably deals with this thing to a certain degree, but good morning, Keith. Happy Thanksgiving. Huh? Good to see you. There she is. Yes, indeed.
But it's the same thing. Just going to that, you know, I'll tell her, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be off at 6, and then they give me an hour more, and she's like, I thought you're getting off at 6. And I'm like, they just give me more work.
Oh, they just give me more. Yeah, and it's like if there's a extreme something happens with somebody having to leave, an emergency, a fake emergency, whatever you call
fake
it,
emergency.
fake
I ain't doing
emergency.
that, and then they leave.
Yeah,
Drop the route.
dropping the old route. I mean, I'm just like I'm amazed at how management, by definition, is a person who is to manage and oversee the operations of people. When you're constantly flip flopping, and it's all in the interest of the numbers and saving that a little bit of overtime, and it's like we haven't officially started peak until Saturday. Essentially, that Saturday is the start day. But
with no penalty, unfortunately.
with no penalty. But when you cross that 12-hour barrier, they're still paying the 2.5 times rate, which is nice. Like Mike pointed that out, and everybody was still a little bit like misunderstanding like what the rule was. And it says no, you're still going to get paid at that 2.5 times rate. So I guarantee you people will be making some dollars, because again, if management can't make the right calls, and
all the time.
Yeah, and carriers want to play their game sometimes too. Then unfortunately, that's the shit show we're going to end up in all the time. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're ready to make our dough, and God willing, customers are good to you. Hope the same for everybody out there. I know everybody's situation is different. Maybe you're a newer carrier, maybe you're a sub. Maybe you're a long time carrier and you're used to getting some extra love out there. But I'm very grateful for the say that this is my 15th year on my route, and Christmas is a very, very good time of year.
I'm sure they love you. And one thing to the new CCAs, and if you see a card with somebody's name, don't have integrity out there. If you don't touch anything that's not yours. If you know it's not yours, if it's a route you never do, you see something in the box, or don't touch anything that's not yours. Have integrity out there. Anytime I'll be on a route when I was new, I would give, if I seen their name on it, I'll bring it back, put it in the carrier's case, text them, hey, at this address they gave something.
That's what you do. Integrity, respect of your peers, to say that if it says their name on it, or whether it says to the regular carrier, put that envelope, hold on to that thing, or put it in the designated place the carrier might ask you to put it. Don't put it in the outgoing mail, for God's sakes. I know that the plant in past years has actually been nice enough to send out a list with hey, this one says it was for Ron B, and if anybody can identify as that, we'll actually send you the card. But that's kind of a past practice. We don't see that happen much anymore. The plant's a lot different than it used to be in terms of quality control. So be respectful, when you're out there, and hang on to it, put it in a safe place for the carrier who it belongs to. Because that's an ugly situation when shit like that goes down. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, my office is kind of like that, and my office is on the police radar for washing checks.
That's terrible.
I'm like, I got to work every day to make sure that doesn't happen on my route. But usually people are good; they'll hand stuff to me.
That's the idea. I was waiting to see you. That's kind of how the customers usually are. But on certain days, like especially on like routes that are curbside delivery, the person might leave it out there with the flag up. I've seen the garbage men, they like to leave a card before they get the tip. They like to literally
some people
tell the customer, hey, I'm like, I pick up your trash, so you got to tip me. And I'm like, we'd be I don't want to hear about any fucking carrier pulling that move, by the way. If you're a carrier and you pull that dick move, like you expect them, and you put a card ahead of time, because I swear I've heard somebody along the way say they do that before. That is such a dick move. Aaron would do something like that. I see Aaron in the chat. Hey, what's up, brother? I'm just messing with you.
I've heard people do that where they they'll say their name and say, Merry Christmas. So like basically fishing for something, so a lot of people I heard do that.
Yeah. No, man. I said, I'm grateful for everybody. And I said, there's customers that I've been bringing mail to for years that never leave anything, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. And there's other customers who you never expected from that give you a very nice gift. And you're like, thank you. I hardly ever interact with this person, but, they said they know you're there. I think, see, as soon as I said something about Aaron, he put, I think Chooch is wearing makeup. Now, Aaron, like I said, just because I look like I have a year-round tan, I said doesn't mean I'm putting makeup on. But this Zoom has these touch-up features and stuff, and so I just tweaked the lighting a little bit. So yeah, this one's for you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, no, God bless Aaron. Aaron has a new addition to his family. Aaron is a dad. God bless.
Congrats.
Beautiful, beautiful baby. Everybody in the chat, please say congratulations to Aaron. This kid is beautiful, and I got Botox.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up too. Give us a thumbs up. Don't treat us like 204Bs.
Don't treat us like 204Bs over here. Thumbs up, hit that like. It's good to come on here and just shoot the shit a little bit. Obviously we talk a little postal, but Nick and I have to deal with an unfortunate situation tomorrow where the Eagles take on the Bears, and they're both 8-3. The Bears are pretty much red hot, and the Eagles are kind of a mystery dish right now in terms of what we're going to get from week to week. So I'm definitely not feeling as easy as I would. Like a couple of weeks ago, Nick was telling me, the Eagles will probably beat us pretty badly, and now everybody's like, yo, I think the Eagles are going to take a beating from or at least it's going to be a very competitive game.
Yeah.
So
no, now like being a lifelong Bears fan, I'm used to choking. I'm used to anxiety. But with our new coach and the way that they're winning these close games, I think they can make the game competitive. I don't know if they could win, but I think they can keep it close. And I think maybe it's a future playoff matchup, and I think it's going to be a great game. Unfortunately, I'm going to be working all day. I'm going to try to listen to it.
Yeah, I said, obviously, I'll be streaming it through the radio app on my phone. I'll be out there, too. It starts at 3 p.m., and I'm like, fucking Amazon. I hate you. I love you, Amazon, but I hate your football dealings. Thursday sucks, and Black Friday, ridiculous. Game should be on a Sunday. Game should be on a Monday. I mean, I can't stand it. I don't like the Thursday setup at all. Doesn't work.
Yeah, Thursday football's like, I'm not in the football mood on Thursday. Sunday, even Saturday, I'm like, all right, let's go, because those are UFC, college football.
College, Saturday and Sunday are obviously that's the best time. But as people who tend to work on Saturdays and have that Sunday off most of the time, is to say, hey, there's Jens. Happy Thanksgiving, Jensy, buddy. There he is. You should hear the spread that this guy's got. This guy he's got brisket, he's got steak, he's got jerk chicken, baked chicken. I said it's like
I'm going over there now.
Yeah, we're all coming. We're all coming your way, buddy. Yeah, be open. Tell you got to put some more settings out for us. We're coming. Nah, he's the best. So glad you came on for a minute, brother. So I don't know, where's our mystery guest? I guess he's too busy doing other things, but that's all right. We were hoping to see JH up in here, but that's okay. JH has let us down before. So, just in case he's listening, we appreciate you not coming in and giving us a nice little boost.
Anyway, he's the postal powerhouse.
Yep, he is. He's the best. And to say that right around now is probably my 1 year anniversary of being on here and starting to do videos. I'm pretty sure my first video posted around mid-November. So to say that that wouldn't have been possible without meeting Jay, without meeting Nick, without meeting JB and Aaron and all these guys that I said we're all a bunch of goofballs from different territories, but in the end, we all
Very
serve that
similar.
common purpose of putting on our blues every day and busting our asses for and appreciating the good things and hating on the bad things like any good human being would. To say that, there is a lot of goofy shit that goes on in between these postal lines. But in the end, I'm going to wake up and go to it every day with my head held high, regardless of what kind of garbage I'm dealing with. And I know Nick does the same.
Oh, exactly. Because, we're only dealing with the BS maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most, and then you're on your own. And, if they try to hit you up on your phone, you got to scan it for a reason. Let everything be documented on the scanner and just,
Yep.
just enjoy the job, be a part of the community. And that's what I love about it. Just, I live close to my route. If I have to go to the bathroom, I just come home. It's great.
Yeah,
I love
I live 14 miles from my route. Kiss my ass. Yeah, lucky bastard. Hey, there's Red. Red, big Red. Salute, brother. Good to see you, man. I said Red did a very nice thing for Aaron. I heard through the grapevine. Red, I salute you. You're a good man. You're a great carrier. I know you do a lot of great work off the scenes, behind the scenes, at home, off the clock from the post office. God bless you, brother. Jose, here he is. I'm sure you'll be doing your civil service tomorrow with pride. I salute. Jose clearly has off tomorrow. That prick. You
Yeah,
will all
people love
be.
to flex that when they have
Yeah.
it on.
I'm sure you will all be doing your civil service tomorrow, you bastard. And yeah, Maurice, we love you, brother. Real letter carrier's point of view. That's what we need. Uh, it's been a long time coming to say that you know I would never really have much to say in the realm of like uh underappreciated feelings of working at the post office. Changes need to be made. Like this movement of just being somebody who can easily access another carrier from thousands of miles away, get their stories, tell their stories, figure out, what the hell is happening in here and why is it so disheveled? And people are making great points and great videos, and people are starting to, we're not saying like, to start a mutiny, start a war, like, bust out the big guns and take them out. It's like there's no, we don't want to ensue any kind of like bad happenings on the floor, off the clock, whatever it may be. There is just a decency that I believe that most people carry with them. And the idea that the cop out of management versus union is to say, well, they're pressured from their boss to just get numbers. And I'm like, enough people have come on to protest and speak against this, vile system that just happens to, we make our living from it. And some people, make a better living than others. And that's, and unfortunately, that's the cold hard truth, that a table one carrier makes a better living than a table two carrier. And that in itself is a crime, and should be, somebody should have to pay for that crime. And
Yeah,
again, do the math in your head, go back to the dates when things were changed and implemented. And I hate to talk about stuff like that's contentious on a holiday, but it really makes me like sit back every day and say like this is this bullshit. It's just
it's
bullshit.
wrong. The fact that there's two tables, was this my Thanksgiving? Like there should be one table.
Well, oh man, you couldn't have picked a better day to talk about. Yeah, they say everybody at the table. Hey, and the Grenfro will come on and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Oh no, Brian, you need to say happy Thanksgiving table one, and then happy Thanksgiving table two. What are you gonna do? Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so messed up, and people. The CCA. It's like a revolving door. The CCAs come in and then they quit, and they're like, "This isn't worth it. This is a joke." And it's just hard to see that long term mindset when you first start, and uh, it's hard because I'll be talking to a CCA and I'm like, I know they're gonna quit, so I'm just like, it feels like I'm wasting my breath sometimes, but I still do it obviously because you never know. Some people stick it out, but I'll look in their eyes. I'm like, they're they're not dealing with this anymore. They're not
Yeah.
going to deal with it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've got enough stories of people jumping ship, in house and way from far away from all the stories that come across my desk, things that Jay's been reporting on, things that that you see in your everyday life. It's it's a real interesting moment in time just to say, okay, next contract. We already heard what he said. We're not, we can't, I don't think you carriers are going to expect much. Post office is really hurting, really hurting. And,
From him.
Corey Walton and Mike both came, because Corey Walton seems to be doing most of the talking, for the CLC. And then Mike Cariff has been coming on and doing his thoughts on the process. And both of them
Videos
agree.
at work too.
Yeah.
Videos at work. So
Videos at
he's
work.
in the field. He's
Yep.
in the field.
He's in the field. He's doing his thing, and I believe just a very coincidental press release that came out the other day saying that social media, while can be useful in certain walks of life, we really got to keep it limited to not doing things on the clock. But it did specify. If you read the fine print, and you saw this thing. It said on your break. And I said, so as soon as Mike was doing things on his break, it almost seemed like that Mike created a verification for everybody to say, you can make your video, you can make your videos, but you do it on your break. You can show the eagle on camera, you can, it's still going to be 10 different translations because one manager is going to be more abusive than the other. Even the union might say, you can't say that. What were you doing on camera saying that? And I'm just like, until I hear maybe Postmaster Steiner make a video about social media, and maybe the second in command, and maybe, God forbid, our union president, instead of making shitball videos on Instagram, explaining nothing, and just babbling the same stuff over and over again, and showing people in community, going to rap sessions and basically telling them we're going to get shit again. So thanks for all your hard work, everybody. You're going to see nothing but shit again in the next contract. So, and I'm like, dude, why are you talking? Why are you talking?
He has no respect. He should just step down or just let somebody else take it, because he's just not it. And then he acts like I don't know what type of yes men are around him that are telling him that he's doing a good job. But
I think that he is so knee deep in his own BS, and maybe like the other guy up high with him, Barner. I think they call him Pony Boy because he has a ponytail. I'm pretty sure that's his nickname, Pony Boy. Yeah, that not the kind of nickname you really want, but nonetheless, that's what they call him, and they seem to be like the worst 1-2 punch in NALC history. So, yeah, and who we got in here? Still got LOL Chaos 13 CCA for a little over a year, 3 on the converting list. It's a struggle, but every paycheck due to overtime is what is keeping me going. Every paychecks with overtime. It's like that's what people need, and it's like you should not have to keep going through that rigorous cycle of like, I need to do 60, 70. I need to work my NS. I need to come in on the holiday. I need to stay out till 8 p.m. just to make ends meet. I mean, that's a disgrace. That's just we do
it because we got to do it, but at the same time, like we should be getting paid what we deserve. And
absolutely,
it goes back to the table 1, table 2. Why do we have the separate pay charts? Because they want cheaper labor and they want to abuse carriers for longer. And going back to the filming on the clock thing, they just want to punish certain people. If they see me on YouTube say something they don't like, I'm sure I'll be right in the office. But if it was somebody else, they might look the other way. Be like, oh, that was cute. But then, man, Nick, this letter of warning, we're gonna write you up or whatever.
Well, I'm just gonna go and use an example since you just said that. There is a female carrier on TikTok, and she's got to be the most annoying person I've ever seen make videos in my life. She is loud, she is obnoxious, she is volatile, and she's got nothing good to say, and she does it all while on the clock, in the truck, in the uniform. I don't know. She doesn't specify whether she's taking a break. And she even came on the other day and said oh, they started all this, yeah, babbling about social media. So I'm going to take a little break and come back in a month when everything cools down. So I'll see you then. And I'm like, no, don't come back in a month. Just stay off. Just stay off, sweetheart. If you hear me and you know who you are and you know who I am, just stay the hell off. Nobody wants to hear your nonsense. Nobody wants to hear you curse, and nobody wants to see you just continuously make the carriers look like dopes. Like
Right.
look like
I get talked to like that on the route. They're like, I see, that's why I'm not getting my mail to 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, that's just one carrier. Don't
Oh
shouldn't
yes, yeah. Don't pigeonhole us all because of one bad carrier, but nonetheless, if you talk about the postal execs going in to negotiate the contract, saying, "Well, we have this whole barrage of videos we'd like to show you here to say that you want carriers to get paid $30 an hour." Do you feel this young lady right here deserves $30 an hour with what she's doing? And it's like, yes, she may be working and delivering the mail, but yeah, she seems to spend a lot of time on here cursing into the camera, ripping people like out in the ripping people, ripping the customers, ripping her coworkers. And I'm like, again, I ain't your coworker, hon. I said I'm a fellow carrier, and I'm just trying to tell you what you're doing. And most of what I see on TikTok, I'm sorry, man. I mean, there is some good educational stuff. I saw a guy who put out a very good educational video about M41 and following, and knowing your rule books and stuff. That's the kind of thing we want to see. I want to see somebody cursing and talking about how who's gonna take her home tonight and all that stuff. I'm like, that's Nick's job to tell us those stories.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick is 31 years old and he's enjoying himself. And man, I said it's nice to see that. I said he is working hard, but then he's remembering you got to go out and enjoy yourself too. And so that was great. You got to see the ocean for the first time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, me and my girl went to Miami. She stayed in Fort Lauderdale for a little bit, so she knew the area. We both kind of got a little sick, but we had a nice time. We talked about we missed it already, and we want to go back. And the 90-degree weather, the nightlife is nice, scenery. It's nice out there. I loved it.
It's a beautiful place. Yep, I've been down to Miami Beach. I've been to Orlando. I've been to the Keys. It's Florida's got some activity. I want to go down and visit on the western side. Go see JB at some point down there. I know that's a beautiful area he's in too. So I got to get there. I got to get down there.
We do. Vacation is important because with this job, when I first started, I missed my sister's wedding. I missed a lot of important events because I'm like, I don't want to lose my job. I want to make money and set myself up for my future. And now I'm just like, I want to be with my girl more. I want to be with my family and stuff. So it's kind of, I'm not where I need to be, but I'm where I want to just, start enjoying my life. And
exactly. I said, God willing, if whatever happens with this next one, but whoever's coming in, like, has to be able to say, the 15-year climb to the top, essentially with the 2 CCA years, that's now down to what, 13, because they shaved off the 2 steps for new people. So it's 2 years as CCA and then 11 years to the top. But that's still it's just
way too long. I have to wait over a decade. That's crazy,
dude. I mean, like, I've been here 20 years. I mean, I got to the top step, less than 7 years ago. It's crazy. It's crazy to say that, like, a 20-year employee doesn't get to the top pay grade until they've served 13 of those 20 years. I mean, it's got to be a single digit number, and the post office would say, okay, 9 years and 11 months. How's that sound? just to kill off 10.
I feel so bad for the carriers who were CCAs for 5-10 years, because I have some in my office who they will never get that time back, most likely. Being CCAs for 5+ years, it's just wasted time.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. But that was before the contract with the PTF thing. The PTF thing was really a game changer. I thought I was going to be a PTF for a long time, but it all worked out to where I became unassigned, and then
Yeah.
regularly, and then
Yeah, everybody that's come in more recently, my station's made regular like quicker than most
yeah,
humans would make regular. It was a very like boom, you're in.
yeah,
So that obviously kept people on staff and got our situation straightened out to where I can finally get some time off
yeah,
without having to put in for it.
exactly.
Let me just hit over to Aaron. Just said, since everything is tracked, the scanner should give us stats for the year, total packages delivered, miles traveled, hours worked, etc. It would be cool, and the data is there. Well, unfortunately, Aaron. I mean, yeah, I would. It would be cool to see, like, what did I do for the year? That I'm sure that's all information that could be, shown to a carrier at the end of the year. But what me and Nick talked about last week, numbers, about the performance evaluation tool and DOIS, is to say that right now the numbers that are appearing in front of management's faces that they are hitting you with every day to say this is what we expect, this is what we want to see you do, as to where the carrier should know, and they're if they knew the rules and they understood that you make the call as the carrier, you interpret how long your day is going to be, not management. That those numbers are utopian, fake. They're phony numbers. They do not translate to what we do in a day. They are this. They don't calculate traffic. They don't calculate human element,
Yeah,
um, bus stops, weather. They simply look at either package totals or whatever the lowest number is. Let me tell you, this is my theory. I can't confirm that this is how it works, but I can say that if the DPS is the lowest number on that sheet, to say that, okay, your DPS is always going to be more than your package count. I said it better be. I would hope so. I've
yeah,
heard about some low DPS numbers before, and I've heard some high parcel numbers before, and I'm like, but there's never a chance that my DPS number could be anywhere near where my parcel number could be. My DPS is always 1,000, 2,000, somewhere in that realm. And then on heavy days, it can get into the threes.
yeah,
So I still get my volume. But to say that, like, the DOIS number, they might just look and say, well, this says you have 12 big parcels that scanned in under the pass machine, and then you have about 45, 55 spurs. They all go in the mailbox, so that's not any extra time. So they're looking at it and saying, well, 12 dismounts for parcels for, that should definitely get you back in here an hour and a half, 2 hours under time. And I'm like, if you're buying into that bullshit and you're believing that any of that stuff that they translate to you is true, plus on top of that, if you're skipping your lunches and your breaks like you're not supposed to, and you're giving that time back, and then you're intimidated by what they say about those times on that sheet, then you're going to be what's called a route killer. You're going to be blacklisted, essentially, to say that I know you think you're doing your best. I know you think that doing right by what management says is what's right for your long-term life at the post office. Believe me, folks, you need to start thinking in opposite ways. You do not want to be management's overperformer, lunch skipping, break
kissing.
skipping. Yeah, like, again, but if you want to go that route and you think that is going to translate good to you as you become an older carrier, a more weathered carrier, it ain't going to fucking work, folks. That's just the cold hard truth.
And the thing with the numbers, man, the earlier this week we had blue coupons. A guy with the mounted route had 16 trays, and she had, or the supervisor had the audacity to say undertime. It
Oh
just,
my, 16 trays for stuff with Val packs and undertime.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
it was. I'm just like, and carriers got written up because, so the day was so bad, like 16 trays is crazy, right? And then
Yeah,
you
that's
get
a
like,
lot of trays. Yeah.
you probably won't finish, and then carriers got written up for not having to be back by 8. But it's just unrealistic. It's
Yep.
so unrealistic, and carriers who've been here 30 years, they're like, I've never seen this. Like they're insane that they're getting. They never. Some carriers have never been in the office before. They're like, why am I getting written up? Like this is. I couldn't do it. It's
Yeah.
unrealistic to expect to do 10 to 16 trays of DPS, not including parcels with the heavy parcel volume. Clerks not finishing the packages, having to go back in the middle of our routes, picking up packages, doing drop-offs, backtracking, and then doing overtime, and then expecting us to be back at a certain time is nuts.
Right.
Give me the time to do it. I'll stay out till 10, 11 o'clock. If that's what it takes, I'll do it. But don't expect us to be back at a certain time. That's why I don't even argue. I'm just, it is what it is. I'll send a message on the scanner. Hey, what are my instructions? Bring mail back. Always document that. What's my instruction?
Yeah.
What is my?
Yep. Put the ball in their court, and obviously don't kowtow and just like, and wither and worry about, oh, what are they going to do to me? They ain't going to do nothing to you if you just do it. You're doing your job to the best of your ability, and you fill out your 96. And don't forget, once peak starts, you don't have to fill out any reasoning during peak on your 3996. You don't have to put heavy volume, heavy parcels. You
Everything.
Just flip it over and point to line J. All right. And it says it's in the rule book. It said you don't have to do any, you don't have to fill out any reasoning. You just put the time and you just say it's peak. So now I'm sure with the way, like we just talked about how they're handling stuff now all of a sudden that they're going to try and make that rule disappear and say, well, that was then, and I'm like, well, it's still part of our policy. So, and you know what, for the most part, I think most management lay off people during peak, and then once January hits, you go back to being a jerk off again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. They get so strict after peak.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for all your hard work. And then as soon as peak is over, all right, jerk offs, let's go back to work. Let's out of the office in 45 minutes or less. Undertime captured.
What have you done for me lately? That's what the mindset is. But one thing too we have with the stationary events that my union's been, Tiara and Lois have been saying, if a supervisor's like, hey, you got a lot of stationary time, never admit that you weren't working. Always say I'm always working, because I could be going through my mail in my truck. I could be doing. Never say I wasn't working. Never admit to that. Say I was working.
You're working.
Prove it.
That's the easiest. That's the easiest truth to tell in my life as a carrier. I'm always working. Minus a lunch and 2 breaks. I'm always working. I said, and that's why it's easy to say. Come out with me if you want to see what me working, because that's what you're going to see the whole time.
They never do, because they know they're wrong.
Because they know. Yeah,
I have an all walking route. I'm like, all right, I need somebody to talk to. Come on the route with me. They never do. They never do.
It's painful, like to know that, like they'll play both sides of the fence to say, well, we know that your routes overburden on some days, and I'm just like, yeah, and some days means more than 0 days. So you got to meet in the middle, or you got to stop busting balls about unrealistic expectations. So now I see Red's asking me to explain a little bit more about the 96. So so basically, Red, during from this Saturday to December 28th is peak season, and during peak season you do not have to give any reasoning on the 3996 during the peak season 4 weeks, because it's essentially more parcels, more volume, more hours. So you just more or less have to put a time explanation of, but you do not have to give a reasoning explanation of to heavy mail volume, heavy parcels. There's a specific line on the back of it, line J, that says not required, explanation not required during peak season. So if that's what you were wanting me to point out, but if there's any other questions about 96's Red, make sure you text me. You got my number, and any questions anybody has about that, make sure you ask in the comments, or talk to me, talk to Nick. I got my email. I got my email posted on my main page, on my main page description. So be glad to help anybody with other questions.
Regardless of how crazy and unrealistic management is, during peak season, they understand, like, coming to do packages, and they do have some sort of, okay, peak season a little crazy. we're not paying them as much without the penalty or whatever. And they kind of have, just that's when I'm working the 16-hour days from 6 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes when I was starting doing roll routes, I was doing everything at that time. Now it's that was during COVID. Now it's a little cooled down a little bit, but it's still crazy. And I just know, based on the hostile work environment my office is, peak season, the tension is going to be even higher. I already know I'm going to be, taking, I'll be, I got a 10-hour day. And then all of a sudden it turns to 12, 13. I already see it based on the hostile work environment we're working in. And I know management's going to get into it with carriers and they're going to send them home. And then we're down more routes. Carriers see it as it's happening, and we just get frustrated because, why are you getting into it, this carrier? For what? We're trying to get the mail delivered.
It's the truth. Roxanne, flip over the 3996 and you'll see all the letters of the alphabet. Go down to J. Just go down to J. It says show the reason assistance is being requested, and it says omit during Christmas period. Right on the back, sweetie. Line J. Letter J. Show the it's right there. I can't really see it right there. That's the back of the 96. Omit during Christmas season. Maurice, starting Saturday, you'll be filling one out every day. Roxanne, I've never seen an original 96 form. The back of ours is blank. What the hell? What the hell are they using in your station? 90. No, a real 96 has to be an original form with what officer you working in that doesn't have a proper 96. That's bad. That's a violation.
Yeah, sometimes that happens in my office where if we're filling out like the vehicle forms, our mechanic won't come to our office unless they put in the system. Sometimes they're too lazy to put in the system. Then our mechanic doesn't show up, and then we're tight on vehicles. And they say, "Hey Nick, could you give out your mattress?" And then you take a ProMaster. I'm like, I'm not doing this all the time. Like this is
now I got Red saying his is blank too. I mean, what?
Maybe it's just area. I never seen
no. A 3996 is a universal piece of paper that is an original copy that everyone should have a front and a back to. With you guys are being violated out your asses if you do not have proper 3996s. I'm telling you, you better start calling some people. And if anybody's listening here that's high up in union, God forbid, like, do you see what the fucking problem is here? Like these people are saying, these are carriers that are saying that they're given copies of the front part of a 96 and without any of that information on the back. That's bullshit. Like management should, like you talk about being written up. Management should be written up daily for stuff like that. They should be, they should have somebody breathing down their neck for not having proper materials that are used that are part of contractual fucking agreements.
Exactly. That's
unbelievable.
They're not held accountable. That's why they feel like they could do whatever and get away with it and lie right to your face.
I got to get a swear jar. I'm sorry. I keep, forgive me, Lord. I'm very thankful for
we are thankful.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, Aaron, he's seen him blank too. Can't say for sure, but I think they copy him sometimes. There is an abundance of 3996s in my station. Original forms. I know where it was Ryan saying. I think I've seen them. Okay, wait a minute. All right. Well, now people are getting the idea now. That's good. I'm glad we were able to convey something other than just kind of talking about the usual craziness. Like I want people to be able to learn a little bit more every day, but that is some basic stuff. And I'm amazed that 3 people just in our little chat here, have said that they don't have an original copy of a 96 with a back part on it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I guess some people say they never heard stuff I do, like the no lunch and stuff. I guess it's just every office.
Anybody that goes in tomorrow and is looking to fill one of those out, which you likely will, you tell management this is not an actual 3996 because there's no back on it, and you see how they react to you. And you know something?
Like, oh man.
Oh yeah, say yeah. Chooch told me. You want to know who Chooch is? Look him up on YouTube. Fuckers. I mean, oh my God. Like, Like this shit amazes me that they don't have that.
Yeah,
Man. All right, so give me a menu rundown. What do you got? What do you got coming at you today? Besides the basics,
yeah,
anything additional?
I might be going to my Aunt Carol's, but
Ooh, and Carol knows what she's doing, I bet.
yes, my dad wants me to come over there. But right now Key has a lot of leftovers. I'm definitely gonna
Oh,
eat it.
gotta have the leftovers first. Yeah.
Yeah, her mac and cheese puts me in a coma. The last time I ate way too much. I didn't want to eat for the whole next day.
Yep. Yep.
She's a great cook.
Aaron loves mac and cheese. He's a big fan of mac and cheese, Aaron. Yeah.
Do you like mac and cheese or not? It's not your
Oh,
favorite.
I love mac and cheese. I think it's one of the greatest things ever made. I mean, when you can take like Gruyere cheese, Swiss cheese, mozzarella, and mash it all into one and make this like gooey, beautiful rotinis.
Pasta.
Yeah, I said it's the great. Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. You know, we're already used to noodles and cheese. You know, but mac and cheese.
Meatballs and Italian wedding soup.
I said we got the scadol soup ready to go, aka Italian wedding soup. We say scadol, and got the little meatballs. Got some bigger meatballs in case anybody needs a meatball sandwich. Like I said, and
I need mine shipped.
I said there is we should have a little side business going here with Mrs. Chooch's meatballs. They're my meatballs too, but I said she really she's the one that's putting them out more. But my recipe will always. Oh Jesus, here we go with the pineapple talk. Oh my, put some pineapple on top of the mac and cheese. I bet Aaron's feeding his newborn pineapples right now. Yeah.
It's funny because I love pineapples. I just don't. Being on pizza is just diabolical.
It's diabolical. Good word. Good word. I said you, me. I believe Mike and Soul. Yep. Oh, we all have that same kind of outlook on the pineapple. Some of these other guys, boy, they can't live without that shit.
Pineapple. When I went to Miami, their pizza tasted like Chuck E. Cheese. That's what my
Oh, I know that some Philly transplants have gone down there, but what people don't know is the water, the WATER, what we call WOODER, the water. The water is what makes the crust and the bread taste the specific way from when you get it here. When you go down to Miami and you have a different kind of water with different alkalinity and a different salinity to it, that is what throws off like the crust and the bread taste. I promise you, that's all it is you got to have a certain kind of water. I'm sure like Chicago's has a distinct taste to their bread. You're always eating those sandwiches. And I said, I wonder if that bread tastes similar to ours, or I wonder if it has its own distinct taste. People just think of bread as bread, but bread is a very specific thing.
I see that Philly bread every time I see you post something or
Joey and Snuff.
Yeah. If they post something, the bread looks so fresh and it's just a different vibe of our bread is good too. We have Toronto. Shout out to Toronto bread.
Yeah. I was when you said it the first time, I'm like, is he saying Toronto? But then I saw it. No, it's right. I said it's an Italian name. Yeah.
They do bona beef. They do. They most of the sandwiches they have here.
There she is. Happy thanks. I said, I want to see some of those leftovers. He wants some of my Italian wedding soup, but you got to send some of your leftovers down to Philly.
Okay,
the soul food. She knows she loves the soul.
I love, I said just because we're Italian doesn't mean we have to eat Italian food all day. We love to mix it up. We love variety.
Italian is the best race.
Yeah.
The risotto. Yeah, we do make some good risotto. Yeah, I can get a killer. And Aaron wants to know if I'm playing some pool today with the family. Absolutely. Yep. I said I've been posting a couple of videos of me cleaning up a 9-ball rack and an 8-ball rack, and I'm like, I think I put it out on Instagram, and I said, weird things started happening once I won my fantasy football league, and I'm like, yeah, And now all my pool shots are going in, and now I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going on the pro circuit anytime soon. But like I said, it's been about a year.
I can tell you practice.
Well, it's been about a year since I got this thing, and it was just years that have passed where I was going to play every day in my teens and 20s, and then life takes over, and you say to yourself, I would just love to have this thing one day in my house, and then. Like sure enough, it just spurred a moment. Last Black Friday, I went to the store and I said, can I get this? Can I get a table? Without breaking the bank? And the guy said, I think we can get you out of here with a good number. And it was a little higher than I wanted it to be, but I went for it, and I'm like, there it is, and it's never leaving my life at this point.
Yeah, my grandpa, when I was growing up, my grandpa had his house in the basement. He would have all the family over, and you know how the old heads are. They have all the family there, and he had a pool table in his basement, and he would just put a piece of board over it, and have all the family there.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta do something here real quick. We got a guest. We got a guest.
Oh, we got a guest.
Where is he?
Uh-oh, Thanksgiving extravaganza. Who we got?
Let's see. Get your butt on here, you.
Your mama Luke.
Yeah. Turn your cat. Hey! There he is.
What's going on?
Go ahead. Everybody.
Look, the man himself.
The man, the myth, the legend. Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
wrong holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Man, yeah, I was hoping you were going to make an appearance. We were probably going to wrap it up, but you got to make your dramatic entrance right at the end.
I didn't. I didn't. I gotta check that out. Look.
Whoa, Dad.
Always with the funny t-shirt.
He's got the best wardrobe. He's definitely got the best wardrobe.
How you guys doing? What did I miss?
I said we were ripping management for a couple minutes. We were ripping Aaron for a few minutes and talking about Nick's lovely girlfriend made an appearance. Talked about
fiance.
Yeah, I said I'm sorry. Yeah, I do forget there is a ring on that finger. God bless.
Oh, fiance. That's right. That's right.
I said, there we go.
Are we live?
We are live.
We on whose channel?
No, my channel.
Oh,
yep. We got. Yep. We got
Didn't notice.
Dale just said the three wise men. Yeah.
When did this pop up? Oh, I see it now.
Yep.
The Musketeers.
Create a post. There it is. Live.
We actually, Jay, you'll like this. We had Red. Red was up in here, and I think he still might be in here. And two other carriers that did not know. Well, they more or less know what a 3996 is. That's the sheet that the carrier fills out to say they're going to need overtime that day. What they didn't know was that management seemingly was giving them a photocopy of just the front of 3996 contains a front information and information on the back. So these guys said, I don't get one with anything on the back. And I said, whoa. I said,
a grievance.
A 3996 is meant to have the front and the back. It's supposed to be an original copy. You tear off, the actual original copy sheet. And I was talking about how in December during the 4 weeks of peak, you can fill out on the back. It says line J, reasoning why you're going over. You don't have to have reasoning in the 4 weeks of peak season. You just turn it over and you say line J, and it says omitted during holiday season. These guys don't even have a back section to even reference that. So I said, you go in tomorrow and you tell your management, that ain't a real 3996. Where's the back? And you see how they react.
There are a lot of forms that have two sides to them, but a lot of people don't know that. They've been photocopied so many times.
They do the lazy way, typical management move.
The 96 is our most used document. It's besides our leave requests, it's our most used document as carriers. And like the idea that people are being given a photocopy just to say, you know, fill out your nonsense on the front, and you know the reasonings on the back are important. That the it's a, you know, it's almost a whole alphabet. It's like A through like, you know, T, to say you have all these different reasonings to say what's going on with your day. A through P, excuse me. So park locations go on the back also. These guys are brutal, man. I'm telling you, like the idea that being the most important thing a carrier needs during their day to as their point of reference, and they're getting photocopies of it. It's bullshit.
It is.
I'll see if I can if that's an official grievance. That would be nice.
If it's an official grievance.
Yeah,
more than one person said that, so I didn't think that was. I never seen that before. All my forms have most forms double sided with, you know, it's that's crazy.
I'm sure that 40-year management jackass will jump in here at some point and say, you know, no, you don't need the back part. That's bullshit. Jerk off. Happy Thanksgiving to that guy, by the way. Yeah.
We learn something new every day.
Every freaking day. Every day.
Well, there I go. I see me. Oh, you can't even see it. See, it makes my phone disappear.
This guy's got like 7 screens in front of him. I barely have one screen.
Yeah, you see me. I'm looking up, fuck around. What's going on, Nick? How's everything going, brother?
Nick. I'm good. I wish I was still on vacation, but I'm back in Chicago with pineapple on my pizza, and nah, I tried pizza in Miami. It wasn't that good.
No, it don't taste like it don't.
Well, when you're drunk, it tastes a little better.
It's something to put in your stomach so that you don't throw up.
Jay lives in Portugal, so he doesn't know like what Miami pizza tastes like.
Correct. Today for the first time.
Okay, you ready? Yeah. My 3996 doesn't have a back portion. Is that a grievance? Answer: yes, it's grievable because the PS form 3996 must be complete and available in its full format, including the backside, for it to serve its contractual purpose. Boom.
Good. Everybody on your union reps tomorrow.
Yes. Why do we not have complete 39? Why do we have these bullshit photocopy front portions and not the full copy? Bullshit. Management failed to complete the form. Violation of M41 and M39. They are not maintaining or completing required documentation. Withholding information. Article 17. Since you're entitled to full documentation. Boom. I love it. What to do? What to do in this situation? Tell management, I need a full, complete PS form 3996, including the reverse side. If they say we don't use the back or don't provide it, fill out the front, keep a copy, and request a steward, document it, who refused, what was missing, and the date.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't use them obviously in my craft.
Sure.
Is it a PS form? Is it a postal service form?
Visual
so
PS
that means that they can go on their own light blue, and you can go through forms and download your own form.
Yeah.
No, there's a section that you can download your own stuff.
Yeah, there's printers. There's printers in every post office. So to say that even if they don't have it, you know, you can go and pull that up on a website and say, okay, here's your full copy. But they won't do that.
No, but I mean, if it's a common thing that you're going to consistently use, you can print your own, just like a 3971. You know, I'm a 5. You know, want your days off, and they don't have them in the office.
There is an abundance. I mean, I'm in a small station, and there is an abundance of 3996 forms ready to go for the carriers. Back in the day, a manager used to go around and give everyone a booklet of 3996s to say, keep this for yourself at your case. Now, you know, they're just kept in one spot essentially, but they're always in full form. So it's not the carrier's responsibility to provide that. That's management's responsibility to provide that.
Yeah, 96s and 71s are we need a whole bunch of copies in my office because they go quick. Sometimes I'm like, we need more because, you know, people are always requesting off. People are always, you know, going to be over on their routes. So it's very common in my office.
Yeah, I'm not amazed, but I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
not shocked.
Yeah, I'm not shocked, but that's just like I've 20 years. I've never seen a non-official 3996. It's always been the official form, front and back. So that's three people that told me just in this little conversation that they don't have a back that they're given by management. That's bullshit. That's a
But
grievance.
that's also people don't know, or just
Yeah. Well, they know now.
they don't know.
They know now. And I said, when your management says, "Where'd you hear that from?" You say, "Chooch told me." I said,
Yeah, put that right on the grievance.
Yep. Line J, Chooch told me.
The remedy, you got to subscribe to Chooch now.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, I appreciate it. I said I'm trying to get out the right information. I'm trying to, not make anybody feel like there's anything being done here other than just information being given. But of course, people would want to see me silenced and not have me talking smack about. And it's not talking smack. It's just saying like, know your rule book. There's so much that you can just learn just by going on the read and taking a few minutes each day. Oh, Corey Walton said, when he was coming up and he took the union steward job back in '06, he said, every day on my break, I read a little bit of the M39 and the M41 in my truck. I got a copy and I read and I learned, and that's what people should be doing.
Exactly. Knowing your rights, and management banks on you not knowing your rights. They'll talk to you like if you don't know your rights, they're going to talk to you like a jerk off and just make you just believe something that they'll lie right to your face.
That guy on TikTok the other day, Jay, that you linked up on your channel, he was great. He was fantastic. I said definitely shout out to that guy for pointing out very, very clear and concise rule book knowledge on TikTok.
I do have a question that you might be able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
James Henry is the current vice president of the NALC.
Correct.
And
at least we think
Renfro is the current president.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct.
So when there's people that are running against the current, effectively, who's going to be running against the vice president of Renfro, the current right now?
Right.
So again, if Henry is the current vice president and he decides he wants to run for president, you understand what I'm saying? And Corey, who does Corey run against?
Corey is essentially saying he'll take every spot needed. He said he'll be the director of city delivery. He'll be the executive VP. Like you can hold several positions, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's almost like where if nobody has that specific person picked out yet, they can more or less say, well, I'll also do director of city delivery along with being the executive VP. Like Ponyboy, Paul Barner, he's the executive VP. So he's above James Henry, and he's the one that's more or less in cahoots with Renfro and blocking everybody else out. So
okay, but so who's running? So Corey is running against him?
To say that, yeah, essentially, if those two were ever to survive, if Barner's not going to survive, if Renfro's not going to survive one way or another, because like I said, they're in cahoots. But yeah, it would be essentially Corey running for that spot against Paul Barner, executive VP, and then director of city delivery, Chris Jackson. Our guy who's got the inside scoop on the Mike Carrick situation. He's retiring, so that's a position to just be occupied.
So what is James Henry right now?
James Henry is the vice president of the NALC.
So there's a vice president, there's an executive vice president, and then there's the president?
Yes. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. They all get paid big salaries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all doing all right.
So if I run, I'm just throwing it out there, I run and I want to be the executive vice president, and I want to be the director of the city carriers, and I want to be the shoe shining gentleman. Do I get paid for all these different positions?
No, there's a good question. To say that I think that they just leave. They would leave, if somebody truly can't be put into the position, they just leave it vacant. Like there's vacant positions in the freaking what's the executive council for the post office.
Hmm.
There's supposed to be not a certain amount of occupied seats, and right now there's just unoccupied seats. The NALC would preferably have somebody put into every seat, and I'm sure Corey and James, they have what's her name, the woman that's part of their, she's essentially going to be I guess she's going to be VP. If Corey's going to be executive VP to Jay and James is going to be president, then she's got. I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but she more or less is going to be VP.
So who's she run against? A vacant seat.
A vacant seat. Yeah,
you just win by default.
Yeah, I said that is unfortunate to say that there's a lot of vacant positions, just like stewards. There's stations have no stewards, and most of them that do, you hear a lot of stories about them kind of being self-serving.
So when somebody holds all those positions, does that effectively give them more power?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, I said, well, as you see, James is the vice president, and he was stripped of all of his power by Barner and Renfro. To say that those two can essentially stop the third guy in line from having any say or any power or negotiation presence.
So I got a question. I mean, if this ever gets over to the other guys that always get to seem to get Renfro on because he won't talk to me, I want to know, has anybody ever asked Renfro why did he strip James Henry? And is that the true story? I mean, we heard that story, but is that the true story? And if it is the true story, how come nobody say, "Hey, Renfro, why'd you strip him any authority?"
I believe they signed an NDA ahead of time to say you will not ask me about if you want me to come on and talk, I will not talk about the James Henry situation, because the James Henry situation also involves a defamation of character thing that apparently Renfro had some shit to say about James way before all this other stuff took place. So there's a lot. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on there with James. I'd say that he definitely seemed to get blackballed. I say that term. I say that term loosely, but I also say that in realist terms of I just don't like the way that Renfro and Barner seem to have a very set way of we got it. We don't need anybody else. No, we don't want to muddy those waters. I'm like, brother, your waters are muddied from birth, as far as I'm concerned.
So they're uncheckable, unquestionable.
It seems that way, because if that, obviously people started shouting at them at the union get-togethers, and said and he's a great talker, Renfro. And we talked about management and these union executives being great spin doctors. They can take a subject that's being hounded on, and they can spin it, and they can start telling tales from the old days, and you can stand there and say, "You still didn't answer my question." Well, I believe I did. And it's like, no, you didn't, because I'm still standing here wondering where my answer was. And it's like, well, we got to move on. We got to move on.
Okay, so I know that I can ask a very straightforward question, and it can't be spun. If you have a president and a vice president, where's the system of checks and balances if you have effectively stripped everybody else of your power? And if you say, oh, it's the members, but yet clearly it is not the members, because when the members voted, they did their own thing. That'll bring me back to the first question. Where's the system of checks and balances?
Fight like hell. Fight like hell. We're fighting you like hell, dude. We're Renfro and Barner. We're not fighting like hell for our postal lives. We're fighting you, son of a bitches, for doing what you have continued to do, which is basically just completely hinder any communication. And now all of a sudden, now they are putting those videos out on Instagram, and I'll send you a few of them because I know you're not on there, to say that they are all of a sudden showing, or at least putting on a dog and pony show of saying, well, we want to hear what the members have to say. So what's going on in your so after 3 fucking years and getting just completely shit on in this contract, now but you also said, well, we don't expect much from this next one, but tell us what you think either way. What the fuck kind of strategy is that?
They've already been submissive. I just feel bad in that scenario.
Yeah, for James, I give for James to say that I definitely have a little bit more of research and convincing to do with him. But to say that situation that he's been in, like, is to say you're getting paid a pretty hefty sum of money, but yet you're told to do what? Like, deal with arbitration. It sounds like he's very good with arbitration, so he takes care of arbitrational cases and whatnot. He's been traveling all around with Corey, obviously trying to build up their stature and get people to vote for CLC ticket. We see Mike carrying his route, doing PR things, coming on YouTube, and everybody has their way of how they sound on camera. And me, you, Nick, like, are the first take for us is always the best take. We don't we don't have cue cards. We have a little reference points that we look down at but other than that, we speak off the cuff. When you hear somebody speak and you say to yourself, okay, this person is well versed in what they're saying, they're not reading off of something, they don't sound robotic. That to me is to say that Mike is very good at that. Renfro, is good at speaking, but he sucks at what he says.
The substance.
His substance is garbage. James Henry, I said he's got a very big X factor in Corey, because Corey gets people to listen and gets people to believe in the idea of education and toughness will get you further than non-education and softness.
So you think that Mike needs a talking point or a mouthpiece?
No, I think Mike is pretty darn good. I just think that Mike needs to definitely start showing some other faces in there, to say, this is number 2 and number 3 to me, just like the way that Corey and the woman who I can't remember her name is number 2 and number 3 to James.
Yeah, have a team assembled, and that'll make it look like, okay, we're the face and we're gonna be the change, And Mike, he's doing these roundtables and stuff on Mondays where he's kind of showing, different unions or like our union, leadership in our area, and kind of showing different faces. But yeah, he's kind of seems like a one man, wrecking crew at the moment. But I would like to see, a few people on his team, because you can't if you're one person, you can't. You need a team. You need a team. It's a team effort.
When she became a steward,
effectively, when people ran before, they didn't have teams. This whole slate thing is just something that came within the last 10, 15 years.
Even the playing field.
Yes.
Yeah, but so you got a situation like this now. Who's going to step up? You understand what I'm saying? Who wants to step up? Because there's a lot of people that act like
nobody under the age of 40. It seems.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm looking at the full slate now for CLC. Ain't nobody in there under 45, 50 years old easily. Everybody in there is north of 50.
Then Mike needs some young people in there. He needs some young people that boots to the ground, some that are, I'd like to see somebody that's only been in the post office for 5 years, a table 2.
Tyler Vasseur. I know Tyler Vasseur his name has come up to say that the CLC should get their hooks in Tyler as a young and educated and well-spoken, full-on letter carrier as part of CLC. But Tyler also is, he's part of Building Fighting NALC. I think he's involved with those guys, but I'm not sure if like he's committed to that particular thing. I just know that I believe he's part of that. So he would be somebody for Mike, to want to look up. But again, we don't know what's going on in the minds of those people to say, do they favor Mike? Do they favor James? Do they like Corey? But I think
they just all agree that they don't like Renfro. That's the kind of common.
Yeah, the most universal, easy thought in the whole process is that Renfro needs to go. That what we keep hearing and what we keep seeing on the I mean, it's every day. It comes up on my Instagram feed. Here's another one, and you just see people in a room, and you see quick cuts of smiles and handshakes, and I'm like, this is the most. Like if there was a reward for the worst Oscar of the year, it would be this. It would be this shit they're putting out every day. I'm like, get me enough, just enough already.
It's interesting, but Maurice said it good. He said we need all of three in the Zoom together: Renfro, Henry, and Cariff, to view their real feelings amongst each other.
Never gonna happen.
And they're not gonna do it.
Never gonna happen.
No
Now,
teleprompters, no script.
If we had a fundraiser, I bet we could get it to happen.
One person said they would. Who was that?
Like Cariff.
He's the only one that agreed.
Yep.
Put me in a room. I do not mind having this.
Michael,
the other one effectively said no, and the other one effectively dodges me on a consistent basis.
Yep.
So one of them has nothing.
You don't think it has anything to do with you not being a carrier, right?
I don't give two fucks about not being a carrier.
That's what
Renfro said. But it's a platform. It is a platform that's going to get out to everybody.
If you don't speak to JH at this point, Renfro, if you can't get on here, and James Henry, if you can't make a return visit, that says a lot. But we listen to this gentleman regardless of whether he handles mail or not. He is the most articulate, self-educated, handsome. Yeah.
It's the only mail I handle. My mail.
But again, it's there. To say that like why me and Nick are on here is because this guy said, hey, you guys really should take part in becoming more vocal and more educated in your job. And I said, but I think I know a good amount. Guess what? I didn't know shit, and now I know a lot. And now in 2 years, I know a lot. So
just little by little. You don't have to do it all in one day. Just learn a different, rule every day and go from there. And you'll eventually be, you won't let management run circles around you. It just takes time.
I know people don't like to read. I know. Once you get past
Cariff, this is the saying. Maurice said, Henry won't acknowledge Cariff. Believes Renfro is the true competition. I respect that comment, but it's ironic because in almost every thing that pops up, they always speak about Cariff on a consistent basis.
Sure.
Won't acknowledge him to talk to him, but they speak about him. And they both sat on my thing. And I don't discriminate against anybody. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to ask the questions what they need to be asked. And you got to take the good with the bad. They can either accept it or don't. But they won't. They won't. I have the APWU president, the current president. He was on here. I asked him very straightforward questions. If you can't feel comfortable being uncomfortable on a screen with just a face, then what happens when you got to confront live members? Oh, that's because you can control the environment. That shit that we heard down in Miami, that's not going to fly no more.
Nope.
Younger carriers, the newer generation of carriers, they're not tolerating that. They bringing fucking phones everywhere.
There you go. I'm fucking ready at any given time now to say that you ain't going to tell me that this ain't admissible in a court of law or in a state of arbitration or whatever you want to call it, to say that they are hiding from cameras, like, like any chance they can. So when they go on camera, they want it to be like, oh, here's your visibility, here's our receipt for saying what we say. But
So I got let me
yeah,
piggyback off of what he says.
yeah.
He said, JH, that's what Henry told me or text me. Now I want you, Maurice. You fucks with me. I fucks with you. I want you to think about this. Find me 1,000 letter carriers, 1,000 out of your 300,000 that like Renfro. Tell me to find 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
There is none. They all seem like they got screwed. So effectively, Renfro is not the competition. I don't care what somebody texts you.
You will never get a vote.
Man, that's your competition. Because nobody's gonna go in there effectively. Not the new generation that supersedes everybody. They're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, Renfro did us good." No,
Table two is going to be the major number.
there's gonna be. They're gonna say, "Well, we have Gareth and we have Henry. These are the two." Because Renfro screwed us this last. He was missing for over 600, 500 days. So no matter what they tell you, look at what the reality is. You can't find 100 people in your area that's gonna say, man, Renfro did us good. There is none. He might have some old people that are on their way out to retire, but not this new generation. Look at what they did when they voted. They said no. Yeah, no, www.no.com.
Yep.
So no matter, like I said, no matter what he tells you, the real competition is the other man that's in Chicago.
I believe that.
On Cali, Cariff in Chicago.
I believe that. I agree.
And then to top it off, a lot of people in the comments are continually saying, if it weren't for
my Cariff.
Who? No. If it weren't for such and such, I wouldn't be voting for. Finish my sentence.
Right. If it weren't for Renfro, I wouldn't be voting for Mike. If it weren't for Corey Walton, I wouldn't be voting for James Henry.
Right.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That is the one.
Yeah. They're saying that if it weren't for Corey, they wouldn't be voting for Henry. I think that's the wrong reason. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure I'm 100. Nobody can tell me different. If Corey ran for president, he wiping them all out.
Yep.
Guaranteed. There is no second guessing that.
True.
They're voting for Corey effectively.
Because he's the popular one.
I don't even know if it's pop. He's informed. Very informed.
He knows the book inside and out. He knows the JCAM. He knows the labor relations manual. He knows M41 and M39 inside and out. He's an encyclopedia. And he's got balls, and he's not afraid to say whatever is on his mind about management on his podcast. Sometimes, to me, it seems like he may be trying to push the envelope a little bit, for the wow factor. But at the same time, he'll say, "Chooch, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about," And I said, "Listen, I have agree with that attitude of going in like a bulldog and saying that we need a wartime consigliere. Nick, we need like the Godfather and the wartime consigliere. Now, James Henry, for all intents and purposes, when he first came on the scene, when we learned about him, first things first, James Henry is not a spring chicken. He's got some years on him. And we did hear that, God willing, his health is okay. We don't want to ever worry about somebody having to, have health issues. But it's been in the rumor mill to say that, that's the thing. And who becomes the executive? Who becomes the president if something should, God forbid, happen to the president? If his health is or if he has to step down because of his health, the executive VP then becomes the official NALC president. That would be Corey. And then Kamichra. Yeah.
James Henry is a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
And no one is saying anything negative about that. He's incredibly friendly. I like him a lot just from our off-camera conversation. And I would say he's intelligent by getting Corey on his team as well.
Yep.
But to bring it right back to what Chooch was saying, you know, when people have to second guess health, etc., which shouldn't really be a factor. It should be built off of the merits of each individual. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Each individual's merits. It's
right. Instead of like the popular factor, it should be this person's credentials, that person's credentials. Right?
I hate to say that, unfortunately, in this particular world and moment we're living in, like popularity contests or what seemingly win the battle at this point.
It doesn't make sense though. That's the thinking. Check this out. All three of us are on here right now. Three faces. If I say, "Oh, I'm running for national president," Nick is running for national president, and Chooch is running for national president. He's, "Oh yeah, JH." Man, I don't know shit about carrying mail. Understand? It don't make sense. That's the mindset. Don't fucking make sense.
Yeah, I hate that is what I feel like. I know I don't follow that creed whatsoever, but I feel a lot of people like are in that sheep mentality, man, and they just kind of say, I like the way the words flow out of his mouth. I mean, they might not necessarily be accurate, and I'm like, what? You rather have it sound good than be accurate,
Right.
So. And we of course live in we work for a very diverse employer, and we see things that would say, hey, I'm the guy from South Philly, that has been around for 20 years. Nick's the guy from Chicago, been around for 5 years. Jay's been all up and down all around the world, driving trucks, and then he teaches people how to do this job. So we couldn't be a more diverse bunch, in terms of it. But our mindset is that, yes, we want the best person and the best policies and the most person who has qualities of empathy, decency, respect, but also has a little fight in them too, and doesn't sound like a fucking robot when they talk, doesn't sound like a scripted robot. We get that vibe sometimes from some of our higher ups.
Why would you do it? Just do it. Just fuck it. Just do it.
Right.
I'm voting for. I'm ready.
He's voting. He's gonna do it. Do it. This is the best.
James, no. Mike Cariff. Mike Cariff is the man because he stands for all of the things we need, and he's gonna be the one to take us to the promised lane. Promised land. All right. So when you vote for Joe Cariff. Mike Cariff.
This never gets old. This is what we see when some of the potential candidates like to put people on screen with maybe a cue card or some kind of they don't really pre-read anything, and it comes out sounding very bad, kind of like what Jay just did, using sarcasm as a weapon of.
You gotta be normal when you talk. You just be normal. You might sound stupid sometimes. Who cares? I say stupid shit all the time. Who cares? It's just you're human. Act like you know what I mean.
You gotta have a couple of moments. Again, if I thought that I was saying everything as clean and accurate as I could, and then I was like, "Fuck! I wish I could edit that out." Like, no, I said, "What you see is what you get." There's no edit. There's no edit button with
in real life. You can't edit a speech if you're
exactly.
Speech, you can't.
Management can edit a PDI because we do it on paper and fucking pen, and they can just switch out whatever they want. Why don't we have recordings? This works great. This validates everything we said because we said it. But
I got a question, man.
Oh boy.
When is the next election after this one?
The next election after this president, or you're saying the vote
after this one that you have coming up? When's the one after?
NALC president holds his position for 6 years, I believe.
Or is it 6 years?
Is it 6 years?
Let me double check. 3, but I have to double check.
Give me a second.
The last one I think
it's 4. It's 4.
It's 4 years.
Yeah. Current term for president expires in December 2026, so it'll be December 2030.
December 2030. Nick will be of age.
Feels like a long time from now.
Chooch will be settled down. Can I get a commitment today that the Italian Stallions will come together and run for national
let me just stand up.
and vice president?
I swear on this. Yeah, Nick will be a modest 35, 36 and shit. Yeah, I'll be.
Bro, that's 5 years from now. Think about it.
a long
Literally,
time.
it's 5 years. You'd have a full 5 years
to really put
come up with a game plan.
Yeah, well,
young meeting. I mean, I'm not gonna say it, Chooch.
as you know, thinking about family and thinking about where I'm at, you know, right now, to say that Mrs. Chooch has accepted my my YouTubing to be a part of our everyday life here, and she sees that how much she sees that I'm pretty scared of you and not following your orders. So I said. she's like is he like gonna eventually like retire? And I said, yeah, he'll retire at some point, but I said, you know, this thing goes on and on. I mean, this is something that is very powerful and useful, and you know, I said I would never have wanted to stop, you know, as long as you were in my ear saying, you know, Chooch, you got to keep going. And now, whether you're in my ear or not, I want to keep going. So
the shit writes itself.
Yeah, well,
that shit writes itself.
your ghostwriter is much better than mine. Put it that way. You have the knack to just say.
But just think of the reality behind it. Nick go through some shit. Nick been down all roads and rivers. Yep. The super ridiculous grinder, and it's documented from beginning to end. When he first waltzed in here, before he was a twin. Before he first waltzed in here and started showing the grind, he can say, you ain't gotta fucking believe me. Just go look.
Right.
Me getting suspended, to me going through the shit, to me getting blackballed, to me, he's living it.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm out here.
Yep.
He went and joined the union for a second to become a steward. Then just the struggle behind it. And in a few years, think about where we'll be. Nick's gonna have 8 kids by then.
Chooch is getting snipped immediately. Yeah, I'm good. I'm done.
Y'all, I planted the seed.
You did, and
planted the seed.
I'm grateful every day, and on this particular day, what better day to be grateful? And I'm glad you came on. And
look how both of you are like 7'2". Both of you are fucking
come on, come say happy Thanksgiving. Come say happy Thanksgiving. There he is. Yeah,
Nick, how you doing?
Who's that? And who's that? That's right. You know who they are. All too familiar. You ready to
Big Unc Nick and Little Man Nick.
He's ready to eat some prosciutto. He's ready to eat some prosciutto and then scadol soup. Do this.
Italian way.
Wait.
What you got there?
6'7".
Oh man. Oh, I'm confused.
Hey, I don't know why this happened. All of a sudden, I didn't promote that. He just did it himself. Well, I said that's my cue that we got to head over to start the feast. So
you're correct. Anyway, they already corrected us in the comments. We don't know nothing about mail. They're putting Saeed on the ballot.
Oh yeah, he's the goat. The goat.
Happy Thanksgiving, Boston family.
Oh man, y'all gonna go to jail a day. Y'all going to jail a day.
Be sure to hit the
this person said he keeps showing up on Chooch and Nick. Karif need to keep coming to visit you. But hey, little Nick, please eat everything that I cannot. Please.
Yep, he's going to eat some
very strict diet, but please enjoy it.
Oh yeah, yep, it's going down, baby. It's going down. You ready? You ready? All right.
Food coma, lady.
Boom. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, young man.
There you go. Be right up. The greatest. The GOAT.
Handle life, brother. Handle life.
I say we're good. We're good. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Maurice, thank you as always. Aaron, thank you, brother. We saw some faces in here we didn't see. Obviously, we would have said, "Hey, there
hello."
She is.
You come visit next time you stop by here. No, I'm not gonna say what I.
That's what we're gonna go to front to.
I was
no.
That looked fun. That looked like a lot of fun.
You experienced everything you were supposed to.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, so I know a lot of spots to go to.
I've never been because I've never been to Florida.
You live there?
Yeah, nowhere. He's in New Zealand. Yeah,
somewhere.
Australia.
Australia, that's it.
Well, you know where I'm at. So when you're ready for your cheesesteak, you make sure you come along with him and you come eat some cheesesteaks. The real deal.
Billy.
He can't go nowhere out of town without me.
Billy, where I am from. We got plans. We got plans to do a lot of eating when he comes up here. There you go.
I appreciate you helping him grow that beard.
Oh yeah, she was the reason I grew my beard.
You understand now.
Yeah.
You understand now. All right, I see the look in the eyes. Look, y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving. I
Happy Thanksgiving, Jen.
Inviting me in.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
I'll do it again sometime.
Me and my
yeah, that's a great shirt. I'm a little dressed up today. I said I got my I didn't wear a hoodie. I didn't wear an Eagles hoodie for the first time in like 6 weeks. Yeah. And Nick's got his Bears on. I have my Eagles on tomorrow, Garen. You know that.
That looked like a Yankees thing you had on there, but I'm blind, so I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. At least you found your glasses before you came on.
Bro, did I tell you where I found my glasses?
Yeah. You said you did find them. I remember where you.
They were outside on the freaking grill. Anyway, it's weird, but whatever.
These things happen when you get older. You can't help it.
All right,
Nick, you'll get there one day. All right, brother.
Good
Appreciate
night.
it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe. I'm gonna hit the end button.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We out. Happy Thanksgiving. Get that out of here. Hit that stop button there, Nick. And
I can't wait to eat.
oh my God. I know. I'm starving. I'm ready to go destroy everything in my path, brother. All right. Appreciate it.
The mac and cheese right now.
Oh, but I said the first thing I'm going for is a shrimp cocktail and the Skidole soup. There you go. Hot and cold. All right. Be easy, brother. I'll talk to you.
We'll talk Sunday.
Yeah, stay in touch. You got it. Later.